Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Crystal Hill from Hill House Publishing, and today this is our third panel celebration. We are celebrating the launch of Beyond Coincidence, Visionaries Unlock the Mysteries of Synchronicities and Success, which has become an international best-selling book already in Australia, in Canada, and in the US. And the UK and Germany are still waking up, and we've got a couple of people there as well. So it's a thank you to everybody who has already supported this launch. And we're just here for you to meet the authors and to share a little bit about the inspiration that we had to birthing this book into being. And for me, the idea was being committed to raising the consciousness on the planet was to really bring people together who have experienced synchronicities, who are guided by synchronicities in their life, and this exploration of how can we increase the synchronicities in our lives so that we get out of being a victim and into that slip road of synchronicities that really helps us to co-create our lives with the divine. So that's what we're here to do. And to share more about that, welcome to the stage, Alfina and Jennifer. And we have Pooja who just joined us as well. Hello. Congratulations on being a best-selling author.
Thank you.
So let's start with Alfina. If you can introduce yourself and just share a little bit about what was it that made you join the book? Who are you and why did you join this book?
I love that question. Who am I? And I suddenly was like, oh, an author now. So there's another who am I add to my who am I list. So I am in Brisbane, Australia, not far from where you are, Crystal. So which is really exciting. And I'm a coach, kinesiologist, and now author, which is very exciting. I'm getting used to saying that, published author. And I chose to join the book. So towards the end of last year, I started doing some deep work on myself again. So I'd spent 10 years helping other people, doing that work for other people. And then I went, I want to be the student again. I want to be the one who's getting the support. So I did some deep work. And as part of that, I made a conscious decision to live very deliberately. So if I say it, I'm going to do it. If I have been wanting to do something and saying I'm going to do something, it's like, okay, it's time to do it or stop saying it. And I had been saying for a couple of years, I should write something. And there was a meditation one day I was doing, and I was like, right, well, it's time. I'm going to start writing. And I sat down and wrote like 900 words. Just words came out, nothing too intelligent, but words came out. And I said, I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm just going to start writing. And then I kid you not, the most amazing coincidence of Beyond Coincidence is that your team contacted me, Crystal's team contacted me within a week to say, we'd like you to join us and be a co-author in this book. I was like, yes, I'm doing that because I've already started writing it. I didn't know why. I didn't know how it was going to be published, and I start writing it. So that's why I came into the book. And a little bit about me. Did you want me to add anything else there, Crystal?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to. Anything else? Who do you help? What problems do you solve?
Who do I help? What problems do I solve? Many problems. So one of the reasons I chose to write the book, to write the chapter in the book also, was because I wanted to write myself into clarity. For the last close to decade and a half, I've been working behind other people's brands as a coach and facilitator. And I was like, well, what's my message? What do I want to bring out into the world? And my message has always been about relationships. So my saying is, everything in life is about relationships. So we have a relationship with our health, with our money. We have a relationship with God, Allah, Buddha, universe. Our businesses are all about relationships. Our family is all about relationships. And most importantly, we have a relationship with ourselves. So my theory is that when we get good at relationships, we get a good life. But nowhere my not in very few places out there do we learn how to deliberately relate with one another, and I think that's the cause of so much suffering in our world and for our individually for ourselves. And so the thing that I work with people the most is that first and foremost that relationship with the self, and then also the people around us, so we can have a fantastic life.
I love it.
So I help,
Thank you for
essentially
sharing.
I help anyone who wants to have a better life, but mostly people who want to focus on relationships. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jennifer, would you like to share a little bit about your journey and what led you into this incredible book project?
Yes, hi, Crystal. I'm super excited to be part of this book. It was a really great experience and a great learning. And yes, calling myself a best-selling author now is certainly super exciting and something to add to the portfolio of coach, consultant, podcast host. So I have actually also been wanting to write a book for quite some time, and initially it was a very personal journey that I wanted to write about. However, late or early last year, I went back more into my roots of business consulting and leadership, and really learned over the last few years what success means to me. And I wanted to share with the world that success doesn't have to be what you were taught as a child it has to be, or what society sees it to be. Rather, really go deep within and see what it is for you. If it is the farm with animals, or having a beach house and just being by the beach all day, whatever success may be to you, working 10 hours and spending a lot of time with your family. So I wanted for people to realize that there's more to success than what society tells us. And throughout my entire life, there have always been coincidences and synchronicities that brought me back to remembering that success is something that I find within myself. And I've done a lot of coaching initially, also in the relationship space. I came to the book because of Alfina, actually. She used to be one of my coaches and mentors, which I'm really grateful for. So when she told me about the book, I really wanted to join, and it was meant to be. I'm pretty certain of that. And yeah, so that's how I came into this space and came to writing the chapter. And it was actually, overall, it was really easy because I had it all in my head. Bringing it down to paper was a little bit more challenging. And I had a lot of projects on during that time as well. So I had a little bit of a time challenge as well. So I packed a lot in during that time. And it was a great learning and a whole different version of personal and self-development, writing a book. And I loved it. I loved the process, and I'm sure there will be an individual book at one point in the future.
Thank you for that, Jennifer. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because so often people come into writing a book because they want to get the credibility and the expert status, and then both of you, like I think for you, Alfina, you came in specifically saying, I'm going to write myself into clarity to figure out, well, who am I as my own business owner? And Jennifer, you're mentioning, that journey of transformation that it did for you, and that expansion, that personal growth into probably I always call it like the more aligned version of who we are. So I love that you're bringing that into the conversation, because writing a book is so much more than just doing it for others. And I feel like a lot of the time we're actually first and foremost writing it for ourselves, to become who we are, so that we contribute what we came here to share. And so with that said, Pooja, I'd love to hear what it is that you feel like, the clarity that you've received of what you are here to share with the world, with your clients. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing in the world.
First of all, I'm wondering, why don't I have the same background like all of you? Is it because I'm late?
because you have to upload it yourself. And yes, because you were late, we couldn't help you. So this is what it
Okay.
is. But we're all
Okay,
good.
acceptance and forgiveness to myself for coming late and for not preparing 5 minutes ago. And this is also exactly what I'm doing in my work. Like, I'm bringing my people, my clients, and whoever I'm meeting in this lifetime, in this reincarnation, to come to the self acceptance of what has been and what is, so that they can co create with the source to manifest their desired reality. I work with the universal laws as well. In the book, there are few of the laws that have been mentioned, and the presence medicine that will take the readers on the journey while reading to connect with their breath as they inhale and exhale. There are the prompts as well and few questions. My intention is to really connect individually with the readers and give them what they are needing, like create the space for them. Actually, I cannot give them what they are needing. It's only an individual who can give to themselves, that I'm learning as an empowered empath now. Before, I thought that I am the one who is going to heal the world. So the book has really brought me to the understanding of, I am here to serve the medicine, to create a safe space and a loving space, and to show how I have done it. And then it would be the perception of individuals, how they receive it.
Mhm.
Yes, and who am I? So today I am Faith and Joy. I think it has been living with me for quite some time. I am also considering to rename myself at one point, maybe. I'm an empowerment coach. The journey that I take my clients is so I have my notes here. It's from the inner conflict to inner harmony, from creating peace with the past to coming in the present and taking care of the elemental energies. Like, I'm here to massage Mama Gaia as well. It's my mission. So, bringing people to connect with water, with food, with intention, being grateful of what we already have, and conscious living is also a part of my mission. Yes.
There's so much richness there, right? And so let's move into this next question around around you already touched on it, Pooja, that intention for the reader. What is your intention for the reader as they're reading this book? We shared a little bit about your own transformation and the clarity. What is it for the reader? What did you want to impart to them, on the listeners and the viewers that are watching right now? What is that? Yeah, what is your personal reason for imparting this message and your message?
Mm-hmm.
Alfina, do you want to start again, or actually, Pooja, you're ready to
I'm
go.
tapping in. Yeah. I'm tapping in. I'm happy to continue.
Go for
My
it.
intention for the readers is to follow the whispers in their heart and really take the aligned actions accordingly. Yes, that is one. Second one that is coming is to tap into what is my truth and to release the voices that are coming from the outside world. I'm not saying to disregard anybody else's truth. However, to always come back to the home within you and to ask yourself, what is it that I would want to do and that would bring me joy? Yes. So these are the two things that are coming at this moment.
Thank you. Alfina, what about you? What was your intention for the reader in sharing your chapter?
So my intention was always for the reader to feel like by the end of it that they'd had a conversation with me, that it was not just me imparting something, but that they were part of it and having a conversation and with me about that, the topic. And the hope, I guess the hope was, and I've had some feedback to this now, which is, yes, it was like a conversation. It was scarily what was, so one of the, is it okay if I share
Yeah, I'd love to
review?
hear. Yes, do
Um,
share a review. Wonderful.
so a person who posted this up this morning for me was, what an amazing read. I haven't been able to put it down. Athena's story gave me the chills in how similar our backgrounds and our journeys are. I'm so grateful to have this and to be able to refer to it. So it gives me that understanding that the conversation was two-way, that I was able to tap into something that is not just uniquely my experience, but it has us become aware and reflect on those parts of us that may be a bit icky, uncomfortable, but with so much compassion that we're able to love ourselves through it, and spark a curiosity about what else is possible for ourselves when we see ourselves differently from what we've always done, or the stories we've already told ourselves about ourselves. So.
Yes, and I remember when the editor was reading your chapter, her feedback was like, if nothing else happens, you've already changed one person's life with your chapter. So that was just such a beautiful, beautiful feedback. And I know, because everyone in this book is so vulnerable and so real about challenges and conflicts, and then showing the journey and how that's been overcome, and the thought process during those challenges. It's so relatable. That, yes, I'm not surprised that that person sharing this morning was saying, I'll refer to it when I need to. And I think that's something that we can all do. It's one of those books that you have with you. And if you're down for whatever reason, you just pick up any chapter, any page, flick through it, and I'm sure there'll be a message, because it's almost like this book is part of the synchronicity. It's coming into people's hands when they're meant to read it at that right moment. So when the paperback is out next week, to flick through it and to find that a message that they need to hear. I think that's my intention for it, and that intention is now in the universe or out there, so I know it will manifest, and it seems that is already happening. So yeah, thank you for bringing that in. Jen,
Hopefully.
how about you? Did you want to add anything to that?
I was just wanting to share that I did some work initially around this word synchronicity, and the Greek root of it, like synchronos. My Greek's not fantastic, but the one is about, so the sin is all about together, and chronos is about time. And I find it really fascinating. Like, so my understanding of synchronicity now has become that, we are human beings having this spiritual experience, and vice versa, spiritual beings having a human experience. But synchronicities and coincidences seem to show up when those two things are in, that like they do overlap, and that these magic things happen. Like, you message me, Jennifer and I have always known we were supposed to do something together. But it's like that human beings having a spiritual experience, it all lines up, and that it's like the matrix allows us to tap into all that's possible. And I think that's like it's happening all around the world right now.
Yeah.
with this book. It's just connecting with people.
I love that. So it's the time, when the time is right, and the community, we're creating like this togetherness, right? And it kind of, and everything just opens up because of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jennifer, how about your intention for the reader, and what are you touching on in your chapter?
Yes, so for me, it was really, I've worked in a corporate environment for pretty much most of my life, and as a young child, and then going into adulthood, following someone else's version of success, until I finally realized that there's more to life. And sometimes it may be a little bit clunky or a bit more challenging following my own version of success. However, the fulfillment is just a whole different experience, and there is that feeling of alignment and that feeling of connection with oneself, as well as the connection with the greater, when you are actually following that version of success that you believe in. And especially in the corporate world, it is just so often that people just really follow this conditioned way of being and doing, and not looking left or right to what they've been told, not questioning anything, not really realizing there's something else out there to what we were told. And I really wanted to bring that to the reader, to realize there's just so much more to life than work and the grind and going, but there's also so much more that can bring you peace, that can bring you happiness, and that in itself is success to me. And I just wanted to share that with people, especially in the corporate environment. And I do that a lot in my coaching and consulting as well. I bring as much into that as I can.
I love that. And of course, the subtitle of the book is Visionaries Unlock the Mysteries of Synchronicities and Success, because I feel that success comes when we're aligned, and we're aligned. That's when things flow, and when we co-create these synchronicities in our lives, because something that we think manifests in the outside world, and that then creates success. And what you're sharing is that real holistic success that is unique and individual to each person. Because that's you're taking, share with us the definition of success, because you're taking that word apart. Right now we've taken synchronicity to its origin. Let's do the same with success.
Yes, so success is actually a very old word, and I looked it up in the etymology. So the etymology is something where it pretty much shows the origins of where a word comes from and how it has developed over time. And pretty much success actually comes from about the 1530s, and means pretty much a good result, a happy outcome, or being victorious or prosper. So if I can prosper in a way that I want to, or if I can be happy in a way I want to, create happiness for myself, I feel there's so many people that talk about happiness and talking about wanting to be happy, however, forget that they can actually be happy by being in the moment, rather than constantly thinking about the future and what they don't have, and bringing that gratitude in. So success is pretty much a good outcome, or happiness. So, and what I define to be a good outcome for myself rather than for someone else.
And I love that the word happiness is in the definition of success. Like, they're so closely intertwined. And we have another contributor, Marian Knox, who writes about happiness being our birthright, and how that helped her, that attitude helped her son become successful in life. So there's a really beautiful story around that she's sharing. So where do we take this conversation? We're going to have another couple of minutes. We could do final thoughts, anything else that you would like to share, like to summarize this, the book, that process, either what that was like for you, or something, a snippet of wisdom that you'd like to impart to the watchers, readers, viewers. And while I let you think about that, I want to also share that we have a book club / launch party coming up on the 17th, 18th of June, depending on where in the world you are, where all of the authors are coming together, sharing some excerpts from their book. There'll be a Q&A. There might be breakout rooms with some of the authors, depending on how large the group is, and then some transformational processes that will help you to really embody and yourself in a way that you can attract synchronicities with more ease. And then we'll have some fun giveaways surprises as well. So check that out. I'll post the details down below. They will also be on Facebook and LinkedIn in separate posts. So we'll definitely make sure that you know about that. There's free gifts, of course, as well. Anybody who is getting the book today will receive a free gift from you. From all of you. Every author has created a free gift so that invites you to take their medicine, their gifts deeper and further. And a tip. The book also has a top tip on how you can increase living a synchronistic and successful life. So all of that is in the book. So if you haven't already, go and grab your copy now. The link is scrolling down below across the screen there. And yeah, let's wrap it up with some words of inspiration from each of you. Pooja, would you like to start off?
Yes, I have a mini story to share, and I'm wondering how much time do we have?
Just a couple of minutes.
Okay, I'm going to do it quickly because I feel this is really important for me to share. I was sharing about my book being published to someone just 2 days before. And I said, if you ever thought of writing a book, please do it, and you know whom to come to. And then he was like, this person was like, so no gender specification, like, I hope my viewers and listeners understand. So this person was like, I don't think I can write a book because I have never really read book. I'm not into books. And I was like, me also not. I have never read any book apart from my school and from my university. In my entire life, I have only read like maybe 2 or 3 books completely. I'm the type of reader like who would just open a random page and see and feel. I consume information more with listening. So everyone has their own unique ways of consuming and integrating information and wisdom. So my intention here is for whoever has ever thought that they would want to write a book, please do it, because it doesn't matter if you have read books or if you should read books. I have not done it, and now I am a published author, and I'm celebrating that. Thank you so much, Crystal.
That's amazing. And that's a great story to share. And so many people put so many blockages in saying, I can't write a book. I don't have a story. I don't know how to write. I don't have the time. Whatever the reason there's so many reasons, excuses, mindsets and beliefs, that whole permission piece. I need to be given permission, or who am I to do it? But everybody has a story to share, right? Like everyone has a story to share. And these are the times to share it because it can inspire others. Everyone in the world has a piece of wisdom that somebody else needs to hear. So I just had to add that onto what you were sharing, Pooja.
Yes, and the last but not the least, if you never try, you will never know. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Jennifer, let's go to you. Final words of wisdom.
I definitely agree. If you ever want to try write a book, do it. As a child, I was really great at storytelling and writing poetry as well. And then over the years, I let go of that a little bit, and it was such a joy stepping back into it. Yes, there were certain fears and expectations on myself that came up. So it's a big growth piece as well, besides putting things on paper, and it's also giving a piece of you. It's a very vulnerable process in sharing a combination of you and how you feel and what you think and what you see and how you see the world and what you think about the world and how you feel the world. And then also parts of, combining that with how society in general feels about it, and really being authentic about myself was just really important and a big learning. And I just loved it. It was a great challenge and a great growth piece, and I just loved it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Alfina, what are your final words of wisdom? Anything you'd like to share?
So I probably echo what the other girls have said, Pooja and Jennifer said. So for me, it was, I just knew I was going to write something. I'm just going to write something. And then halfway through this experience, it dawned on me that people were going to actually read the something. And so then started a whole piece of personal growth that I would say this is some of the best personal development work I've ever done, because I suddenly realized that what my thoughts were actually going to be seen and be out there for other people. And it was a conflict of like, okay, well then that can be judged, that can be misinterpreted, like people will have their opinions. But if I allow that to stop me, then the people that it would inspire to do the same, or the people that it would actually help, would never get that if I didn't do that. So there's this big growth that happened for me in being okay to be seen, and having my opinion and my views out into the world, for at the same time, synchronistically, let's say, up for scrutiny, but also to be used for good as well. So if you're thinking about it, definitely something that I would recommend, because we had you, Crystal, to hold our hand and provide a space that was safe, and provide feedback and support when you're freaking out just before the final chapter gets edited and sent off, and going, is it normal to actually hate it and want to take every word back? And to have you there through that and say, yes, that's normal, it's okay. And to have the reassurance that you would never let us send out into the world anything that was not of a high standard. So thank you for that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for this, for the courage that you listened to, and for the courage that it took to put yourselves out there in such a vulnerable way. And yeah, it's so true, right? Because if I let you write something that's terrible or self-indulgent or whatever, that reflects back on me as the publisher, right? So it's like and I want to bring, as I already said, like I'm so passionate about bringing things out there that will really serve humanity. And so helping you shine in your best light, really, really sharing yourselves authentically, is something that will just facilitate that. So that was really important to me. And the other thing that I thought of when you were sharing is, like, it is selfish if we don't share, because then the people who need to hear our story, who will be inspired in their darkest moment, will not have that hand that's reaching out to them in form of the story to say, look, I've been there too, and this is what I did, and I'm on the other side now, and so can you. So that's the really potent, that's the potential that this book holds, and that your stories hold. And yeah, really congratulate you, all 3 of you, and all 14, to having gone through this journey, so that we can shine the light and help the world to awaken and empower, and step into more of their success by attracting more synchronicities in their lives. So thank you for the contributions that you're making. Thank you for the work you're doing in the world. And thank you to those of you who are seeing this, who are listening, who are getting the book. And I know that so many out there are already doing the work, and this will just help us all to get to our next level, whatever that may be. So thank you so much again for everything, and congratulations on this incredible achievement.